Blessings out there. You know I'm gonna get at him. You know I'm gonna get at him. What's going on with you out there? Are you watching the damn kerfuffle of these darn so-called brothers and sisters of ours? Are you watching this? Let's get down to it. I hope you out there getting your M's and ones, using universal health precautions, and staying what you need to be woke, double woke, triple woke, quadruple woke. Okay, let's get down to it, right? Now, timelines don't lie, right? Timelines don't lie. Like I said, when you hear that beeping in the back, that's the micron filter, the HEPA filters. I have a whole bunch of stuff going up in here, catching them particles in the air because they ain't going to be all up in my system. That's the way that goes. So that's what the beep is. It's the HEPA filter, the carbon filter, the micron filter, whatever it is. And it's letting me know that it's catching stuff in the air. So you're going to hear that little beep in the background. That's what that is. And I ain't turning it off, okay? So number one, let's get down to it. Where I'm at in this whole thing with this is, listen, beloved, I done went from the darn concrete on the street to the beds in these darn so-called homeless shelters to these places that they call prisons and back, okay? Okay, I done been resuscitated 3 times in my lifetime, okay? And I done got it on with the best NYPD and the Department of Corrections to any other agency you want to think of. As long as I had black skin, they've been after me since the day I came out my mother's womb, okay? I'll go as far as to say if I have any kind of criminal history or anything, it was done by these goddamn NYPD, huh? It was done by them, okay? The first time I ever had any contact with any law enforcement, let me tell you something. It was to intimidate and make me understand that they can do what they want because I was black. And it's simple as that. I got the history to prove those facts too. So anybody in law enforcement and all they nonsense want to come at me with this nonsense, man, we can sit down and have a talk. I done been to the CCRB, okay? I done filed suits against NYPD. I'm currently in a fight right now with the 73rd precinct over there in Brooklyn because they a bunch of nonsense and crap too. And we ain't even talk about Harlem. We ain't even talk about Harlem and these other places with these other precincts, okay? So let's get down to it. So now, we're in a situation where black people, I said black people, I ain't say colored, I ain't say minority, I ain't say all that nonsense. And if you want to label yourself that nonsense, that's good to you. That's not good to me. We gonna get down to it. We gonna talk about black people, descendants of slavery, people of burnt skin, whose face has been kissed by the sun. Let's talk about us. Let's talk about us, okay? They ain't bring us nowhere. Okay, that's number one. Get that lie out of your mind. They ain't bring us nowhere. When they came here, we was here, living in peace and harmony with each other. We was helping each other. We was building stuff. Go check the history of the North Americas, or what you call the United States of plantations, or whatever they want to call it now. They found us here. We were living amongst ourselves in peace and blessings with each other until they thought that divided and conquered nonsense. So anytime you hear these people talking about the indigenous people of the land, ask them the question, did you people fall out the sky? Did they fall out the sky and became owners of this land or claimers of this land? They can't claim nowhere because black people been here for eons. That's number one. Peace and blessings to Dr. Ben Yeckerman, who used to teach this stuff up in college, okay? And like he said, you don't have to have no PhD or no doctorate to know your history. Know your history. So let's get on to it. Somebody once said, your enemies are people who make themselves your enemies. And why they make themselves your enemies? Because they don't know the fact. And once they find out the fact, then they can choose to be your enemy or keep being your enemy. And I want to say it one more time, that everything is holy and righteous to the Creator that created all things holy and righteous. These people are not our friend. And when I say these people, I'm talking about our brother and sisters of Caucasian skin, okay? They're not our friends. They're our brothers and sisters. But you know, if you got a brother and a sister, you got to take them to task. You got to point it out to them. Listen, you wrong. You dead wrong. They are dead wrong for what they have done to black bodies since the eon of time. They're wrong, and they got to be held accountable for that. You understand what I'm saying? You got to understand that. So if you woke, you follow along with me, all right? Like I said, there ain't no place where they can go or was that black people of burnt skin was there. They was there. We got the proof. We got the DNA proof on that. That's not Afrocentric. That's not trying to claim everything is ours. Because before we was made black, we was human. You see? Before I was made black, I was human. And that gave me humanity. Okay? And even towards those who didn't show me no love and did all the things they did to us. Okay? Our brethren and sisters, they did this to us. Huh? They did this to us, okay? The raping, the robbing, and the murdering of black bodies since the eons of time. Why? Because we was black, okay? And they thought they had a hue that was different than the Caucasianness that and if you check the specifics on stuff I'm saying, the first Caucasian was a black person, a person of burnt skin. I keep telling them check that darn dictionary, that 1825 Webster dictionary, and they're gonna have the race of man, and they're gonna show you Mongoloid, huh? They're gonna show you all these different races. And when you get the Caucasian, it's gonna be a person with an afro and Milano European features. That's what that's about, beloved. And we ain't gonna even get it to them, to the Spaniards and people call themselves whatever, because if they know the word, they're gonna know what I'm talking about. La Morena, look it up. Look up what a La Morena is. Look it up. So we know the history. It's time for redemption. In 2020, your vision has got to be clear. You understand what I'm saying? Know your history. We gave culture to the world, beloved. We gave it to them. I told you, get up on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And every time you dove into any one of those subjects, you're going to find somebody black staring back at you. So you didn't give us anything. We gave it to the world. You want to get on religion, monotheism, it goes back farther than the man, and he had knowledge of anything, man. And it comes up black on that subject too. Now, when I say black, let's be very clear. There are 64 shades of black on the planet Earth. It got to be said, beloved. It got to be said. And these people have infiltrated. And when I say these people, those who are of those 64 shades, they done infiltrated those of burnt skin and pretended all this time like they was for our betterment. They weren't about our betterment, beloved. And it's a sad fact to see in 2020. You understand what I'm saying? Now let's get down to some facts. Back in the time of eons when we was black and colored, all right, there was something that was passed in the United States that brought us pain and joy. The 1964 Civil Rights Act, it brought us joy and pain. If you check the records of that, you're going to see in it, it had immigration, it had everything in it. And these people were living off that darn voting rights and civil rights and all this for the longest. They was living off the decisions that we made for ourselves, okay? And don't give me Martin Luther King, because he apologized. I'm going to say it one more time. He apologized. He said, I led my people into a burning building. He did. Because he knew they wasn't going to have no humanity towards us. That's why he said, I done seen it. I done seen it. Okay? He wasn't talking about no far-fetched fantasy. He said, one day black people going to wake up and we're going to see for what it really is. We're going to see it for what it is. Every brother ain't a brother and every sister ain't a sister. It's sad, but that's where we at in 2020. You know who they are. You know who they are. I called them out. They anchor babies and usurpers. And if you want to classify yourself with them, that means everything about them, they're trying to anchor themselves into our communities. They're trying to usurp off the resources, but they not for the betterment of people of burnt skin. Every time you see a person of burnt skin in a position or somewhere, they sniping at the person to get that position. And they'll bring up all 64 shades of blackness to try to snipe at the person, okay? The attorney general sniping at her. When Obama was sitting in the highest office in line, they were sniping at him. And yes, don't sit up here and tell me I'm going to praise him and all that. No, I'm not going to praise. I'm going to call it for what it is. When he was in office, he deported more people than any president in the history of time. Yes, why did he do that, beloved? Now, this is what I'm saying. If you don't want to hear it, get off my page. So what? Yes, he was deporting these people because he saw something that we see right now today, because these people were not voting for him. He knew it. He knew it. When Hillary told him all that, now, yeah, you can run, but they ain't going to vote for you because they're going to figure it's going to be more somebody that was looking like them. Who? The black man. They didn't want no rule under the black man. They wanted somebody who wanted to be their slave master, to make them what? Beholden to materialistic, okay? To give them the paycheck that's afford them the lifestyle that they live in this country while they usurping off of people with burnt skin and not for our betterment. So now when we checking these cards at the door, because everybody claiming they got a black card, let me see your card. Let me ask you 3 questions. Now I can tell you you're not black. You're an anchor baby and a usurper. You're here to get whatever resources and God darn it, anchor on. They're going to keep anchoring on, having these babies anchoring onto this piece. Why? Because now everybody know. So let's check the history of what I'm saying. So you mean to tell me When they came over here, we didn't establish everything that they're using against us right now. Like I said, that bill was passed back in 1964, the Civil Rights Act. Go look what it had in it. Go look and see what that bill had in it. Don't tell me that they didn't have the Black Panther 10-point program. And now it went even so far. It went even so far with that. They trying to say the people who was part of the Black Panther Party, they was part of the Lords and all this nonsense they coming away with. They trying to make it other than everybody. Then check it. The Black Panther 10-point program. I'll call the names out. Ask Charles Barron if he know what I'm talking about. Charles Barron know what I'm talking about. And everybody in politics, they try to offset that using some part of the Black Panthers 10-point program for the community. If we had a demand, it would be that, because that's what they're living off. The WIC program was formed by that. The food stamp program was formed by that. All that was brought up off the Black Panthers 10-point program. Go back and check the facts on that, beloved. So if these politicians keep talking that nonsense, let them rock on that. But like I said, I vote and I participate, and then I sit down and look every last one of them in the face. I ain't got to say nothing. They see it on my face. When I look them in the face, they see I'm black as all out there, and I ain't no fool, okay? You're not going to sit here and try to repackage something that I know y'all supposed to been doing since day one. Why you think they killed the Black Panther Party? Why you think COINTELPRO still doesn't exist? And if you don't know what COINTELPRO is, go look it up. Because in our day and time, that's called Google. The COINTEL program, it blossomed into the Google, and now Google is now just a letter. So let's get down to it. So we having to come to Jesus moment to with whoever sit into that darn seat. Let's talk some more history. Let's talk about these Republicans, okay? All right, when Lincoln so-called freed the slaves, so-called, as I said, so-called why? Because they was getting their ass whipped by these goddamn Confederates, and they knew if they didn't incorporate these black people into that damn army that they would have lost the battle. So they incorporated black people into the army, and then they won whatever they were supposed to win. And then what did they do? They turned their backs on black people, okay? They terrorized us as Republicans. Okay, that's what they did. When they freed the darn slave during the time of Lincoln, they would read as Republicans. But these Republicans turned on us and did what? They started murdering, raping us, and taking whatever they can get, because they figure, hey, you know what? Ain't nothing they can do with no laws against that to say we can't do what we're doing. And they was doing it to us. And they got so hot down that motherfucker that we ran up north into the hands of somebody else who was raping, robbing, and murdering us and selling us on Wall Street and all this old nonsense. Come on now. You got to know the history. And if you think it's a lie, you go right over there in Manhattan. You're going to see all the stuff that was put over there. The African burial slave ground is right there. Go check the history of it. As sure as I'm sitting in these darn Airbnbs and they charging whatever they charging, or sure as I'm in this program and that program, why do black people always need a program, a train, or a job? Huh? And let me say it to the politicians, if you're listening or you get the message, okay? Stop talking about this low-income housing, because we tired of being low income. You understand what I'm saying? And stop talking about these jobs. A job is just over broke. I'm tired of being just over broke or JOB for my whole life until what? Until I die or something. And then you replacing me with the darn anchor babies and the usurpers. Let's get down to it. Where you want me to go? Huh? You want me to go back in history again? Who you want me to go back to? Nixon, Ronald Reagan, Bush 1, Bush 2, Clinton? None of these people were friends of black people. Okay, and they poured so many people into the country to offset black people that we would never gain no knowledge of what they was owed. Huh? What they was owed. All these people that did that nonsense to black people, what they owed. They owed a chance to redeem themselves and own up to what they did to black people. Okay? And for those who keep letting these people in our midst and keep labeling them everything, minority, colored, this, that, and the third, and we're going to all get along and sing kumbaya, it ain't going to happen until we have a day of reckoning. And that day of reckoning is sustainability life for black people on the planet, period. And if you want to talk local, if you ain't following that Black Panther 10-point program like it was laid out to them, and I don't care who trying to claim, they're gonna have this big discussion who started the Black Panther Party. It was started by black people. Because we got tired of people whooping on our ass. And it was started on both coasts. So to even start that nonsense, you got Jose, what's his name? Jose Feliciano, some talking some nonsense on his radio to my he know all these people personally and all this nonsense. Yeah, And it's been stagnated because they divided and conquered the darn thing. And some of them started calling themselves anything other than black. That's what that was about. Mr. Jose Feliciano, he be on the radio playing Bayou music and all that. He know what time it is too. Now let me get on that story because and like I said, no notoriety, no likes, no none. I'm not putting this all up there because like I said, I done talked to any and everybody. I give you a perfect example. When Obama was up in that office doing that nonsense, I used to get them sit down and write them letters out and send them shit directly to the White House. Yo, man, this is the deal with this, man. What's up with this? What's up with that? They never would give me a reply back. But then in the end, what happened? I got a letter from the White House with this dude's signature on it. Same thing. Day one Trump got up in that seat, I was writing that damn White House. See, you couldn't write it on the letterhead like before, so you had to email and all that. These motherfuckers ain't give me a response back yet. Not yet, they ain't give me one response back. Okay? Local people too. I see them in the streets giving out this and handing out that, doing their little soundbite, their little ops or whatever. I look them in the face and then I go to their office. Office closed, or you can't talk to that person. They got a Facebook page, leave messages on their Facebook page. They got to leave all that shit. Let them know. Leave my name up. Are you a... Yeah, I put it all down there. From Harlem to Brooklyn to Queens, all of them. That's what you got to do. Ain't no one election, all elections. And even when it ain't election time, jump up in their face. What you doing, man? Where the checks at? That's all you got to say is where the checks at. And they going to be looking at you because they know they ain't going to send you no check, but they know you checking on them. That's the deal with that. So let's get back down to the subject. So they let all these people into the country to offset black people. Now we see it in the Voting Rights Act. See, go check the Civil Rights Act, because they had the Voters' Right Act in too. You understand what I'm saying? And these are the same people you in here talking about, oh, all the votes got to be counted, and we don't want the votes counted here. Why? Because they want to offset black people. They don't want the betterment of black people. See, they want their slave master to stay in place, the European slave master, huh? They want them to stay in place, and they got a whole cohort of people that's down with their nonsense. They know that. Anybody got some sense know if Biden win that election, what you think gonna happen? The same thing has been happening. Corporate America gonna be like, good job. Now let's get down to business. And what is the business? And what is the business, beloved? Using, abusing black people, and using, abusing our body, and using, abusing all the stuff that we done gave to humanity. What did we give to humanity? We gave culture to humanity. We gave it to them. Pain is pain all over the world. And when you get these other people running in here talking about, oh, they dropped a bomb on us, or oh, they burnt us in a gas chamber and all that, we understand that, but you better understand this. The importing and exporting of black bodies across the world, our pain is greater than any Holocaust they can come up with. Let them come up with it. Like I said, whether they talking about whether they dropped the bomb on, they gassed these people. The stuff that they did to black bodies is unspeakable. It's unspeakable. So now, all these labels that they want to try to separate us as minorities, coloreds, African Americans, you understand what I'm saying? We ain't buying that no more. I'm black all day. I'm black. Don't try to label me with your nonsense. I'm going to say the one that you don't want to hear. Black, 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 black. That's what they don't want to hear. Okay? And all those who want to speak another language and come over here with that exotic Negro nonsense, let me tell you, go back to the language of La Marena. Go see what that is in your language. A La Marena. Go look up and see what that is. And if you want to speak another language, go look up what Negro mean in your language. Negro. Go look it up. Huh? You want to speak some Italian to them? Go look up Muliano. See, they got names for us up and down the darn thing, because there's nowhere they can go that we ain't been there. But they come here and be something other than. And now we got the numbers on our side. What numbers is that? When they check those rolls and they see who was voting for Trump. You see what I'm saying? Now we know. We can check your black card now. Check your black card. You voting for Trump. And we got to check that black card. Ask them the 3 questions. Ask them the 3 questions. Black is a color. What's your nationality? I'll give you one. That's a free one. I put that one up on my page a long time. And let's get to my page. If you don't like what's being said, if you want to separate yourself with that nonsense, then get off my page. If you want to get the facts here, yes, Caucasian people are our brethren and sisters. We made them. Yes, every other one of these people that come here talking that nonsense from wherever they come from, we made them. We've been on the planet longer than them. You want to talk about Mexicans? Talk about the Buffalo Soldiers. Huh? You want to talk about Europeans and all these people talking about World War I and World War II. One war where they didn't want us participating, and two where they had to let us participate because they was getting killed by the goddamn number. And we went for that one too. So let's bring it up to the present now. So you have a lot of nonsense going around with this nonsense with which slave master we want. We'll take any one. Then we're going to have a come to Jesus moment. You Republicans, you need to redeem yourself. Because Harriet Tubman is the oldest Republican we can go back to. Who you want to talk about? Democrats, they got to redeem themselves too. We can go back to them. You want me to mention how many black bodies was raped and robbed under your watch too? Independents and all these moderates, conservative, all these darn different labels they trying to give us. You understand what I'm saying? We ain't buying no more. Here's what the deal is. We're going to have a sustainable world where everybody can live. Everybody can live, okay? Because we not like that. We're not like you. The greed and the skin lust and the rape, robbing, and murder, we not like you. And if you try to make us like you, those are your ways that we're adopting use against you. Because in warfare, you adopt the ways of the people that's waging war against you, and you use their ways back on them. That's what that's about. And number two, those who talking about, oh, you talking about creating diversity and all this amongst people. No, I'm not. I'm telling you what time it is. We're going to give everybody a chance to what? Come to the damn kumbaya moment, then we're going to call them out. That's what it's going to be. We're going to have a come to Jesus moment. Yeah, now we heard all that, but here's what you need to understand, okay? Black people, our business is separate from your business, so stay up out of our business. You understand what I'm saying? We got to have a come to Jesus moment with our Caucasian brothers and sisters and to go along people. And those who pretending, and they pretense is over now, okay? Because we know how you voted. We know how you've been filling out them census. You understand what I'm saying? We know who was registering to vote for the last 10 to 20 years. As I said, Obama, the porter-in-chief, that's right, because he realized what everybody else realized. When it comes time to vote, they not voting for the betterment of black people. They're going to vote for the other side. Because they wanted to stay in place. They want to keep black people in our place. We ain't scared of no darn law. We ain't scared of no darn laws that you make, legislation, bills, and all this nonsense that you pass to offset black people. That's why they keep doing it. And I'm going to keep saying black people. I'm going to keep saying black people. I spelled it out from letter to letter. Okay? B-L-A-C-K. I know what that means. Tell me what it means. They can't tell you. They can't tell you. Or they can say, oh, I'm black too. How are you black? Black is a color. What's your nationality? And when you tell me what's your nationality, formulate that nationality and how y'all came to be this. How you came to be Spaniards. How you came to be Italian. How you came to be Hindu, Dutch. All they nonsense they come up. Tell me how you come to be that. Had to be off the pain of people with burnt skin. Because every place we look on the planet, we know we there. And history tells us that we're there. From the coldest place to the hottest place, we're there. So let's have a come to Jesus moment with them. Yeah, put whoever you want in the seat. Put whoever you want in the seat. But individually, we talking about this. Now, you want to have some demands on some paper? Tell them simple. Yeah, put the 1964 Civil Rights Act in place as it was as we passed it. That's number one. And as far as the community, put that 10-point Black Panther program in effect, fully in effect. Don't pick pieces off into it using this and then make the WIC program, using this to make the housing. Take the whole 10-point plan and put it on the table and let's etch it out and see who's going to come up with it. Black people, because that's what it was. We got tired of the abuse and the nonsense from these politicians, these police, and we formulate and we say, hey, we can carry weapons too, and we can speak for ourselves. Each individual black person get a say-so for themselves. No, we don't want to continue to be working until we die or in debt penis till we die. What you think this is, man? It's a time to wake up. So whether they have me in some place like this or some other place somewhere, or whether they have me out on the streets when it's all said and done, it's still going to be the same conversation. The betterment of black people. Okay? Now, I done said enough and I done did enough. You ain't got to like the page. You ain't got to buy nothing from my page because my business is my business. And those who've been dealing with me, they're going to deal with me because they know I'm a righteous person. I'm not going to sell you something so you can come back to get it again and keep giving me money for it. I'm going to sell you something that's going to better yourself and you ain't got to come back to me. You know why? You want to know why? Because if I give you a fish, you'll eat for a day. But if I teach you how to fish, you'll eat for a lifetime. That's what that's about. So don't go for their nonsense. And like I said, if you don't like what's being said, you ain't got to be on my page. You ain't got to subscribe to my channel. You ain't got to listen to my podcast. You ain't got to take no advice from the thousands and millions of stuff I done posted on his Facebook. And he's a racist too. Let's get down to Mark. He's a racist too. Him and his wife is racist. I'll say it. Now, let them don't post that. Because we don't know who he voting for, but we know who he was sitting before all this stuff popped off. They had him sitting right up there in Washington answering questions. Him, Jeff Bezos, and all of them. And they pledged their allegiance to Corporation America. So don't sit up here and oh, they didn't post it because you mentioned them. I mentioned him. He owe money too. Zuckerberg and them, they owe money too. Go look on PBS and Channel 21 and all these things and see if you don't see foundation for Zuckerberg and his wife and all them up there, huh? They know what time it is. If they were to pay black people a percentage for the use of the Facebook as a home job, we all would have a goddamn income. And that's fact for you. That's some straight up fact. What they don't have locked down, they have Facebook locked down, Instagram locked down, YouTube locked down, and they going for TikTok and all the rest of this stuff. Stay at home work, online work. That's what you can call it, click workers. And give everybody a wage on that. And if you are an outside person, they had something called a Marshall program back in the day, right? Where you did community service or community stuff and they would pay you for that. You understand what I'm saying? So they got 50 million ways to bring people out of poverty, but they want to play the politics and to go along to get along, okay? And not the betterment of black people. Some people are just out for the betterment of themselves. They want the paycheck that affords them the lifestyle that they're accustomed to living. It's at your expense, beloved. And if you don't go along to get along, they'll make sure they make you homeless and penniless and a pariah to the media. That's how that go. So with that said, like I said, get out there and get your M's and ones. Do whatever you need to do, okay? I'm no different than anybody else. You understand what I'm saying? From which my knowledge comes to ancestors, those who went before me, those who suffered before me, so I shouldn't have to suffer so much. And with that said, 1, I'm out. 2, I love you. 3, there's nothing can do it. And if you ain't in agreement, get up off my page. Because I don't need you to buy nothing from me. And I ain't getting you to click no likes so I can get 1 million views and all that nonsense. The facts are the fact. The usurpers and the anchor babies, they was brought here to offset black people. And now that we got the numbers for these voters registration, we can see how they voted. Straight like that. It's your personal business who you vote for. See, you can't go in there and say, hey, I want to see who you voted for. We know how you voted, because when they start checking all their labels and all that, oh, the Hispanic birth, they voted for this. Oh, the white man. And let me get on this subject before I go to it. This is a good one. Remember when they said the election was won by female whites in the suburbs and all this nonsense? Let me give you this one. So if you're a white woman in the suburb, what do you have? You have a husband majority of the time, or somebody, a significant other, right? And that's 2 votes. Now, if you're a white person in the suburb, you have a significant other and some children, right? And if you had 2 or 3 kids, or 2.1 or 1.1 children from the suburb, right? And now that kid of voting age, that's 3 votes. You understand what I'm saying? So you got the white suburban women, you got the goddamn significant other white suburban women, and you got the offsprings of the white suburban. So that's 3 votes to your 1. You want me to repeat it? And then on top of that, you have these anchor babies and usurpers in here voting up for the best interests of the suburban whites, okay? So that's 4 votes to your 1. And you wonder why the election is going the way it's going? Man, wake up, man. I'm out, man. I love you and ain't nothing you could do about it.